about it.
And really, especially traveling from where I live in the South up through the shitties, it's a fucking insurance policy. You know what I mean?
It absolutely is. My God.
Take my wallet, crack of my ass.
You're like, dude, I don't even care if there's no ice yet. We strap.
We strap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They strap.
George Floyd could have used a pair of those. You know what I mean?
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Well, that's a cold open.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Wild Bill, everybody, kick us off here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You're back.
They do it different in Montana, I guess.
You're back. We're back with another episode of Pass the Bar.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, really. Happy Thanksgiving, and an early Merry Christmas to each and one of you.
I didn't know we were recording there.
Welcome to Montana.
Wow.
He could have.
And there's a reason we're the #1 outdoor podcast in the world.
It really is. I mean, it is. I mean, what else can you say?
We don't disappoint. We're not here to disappoint. And do we even have to explain? Yes, it's going to be an awesome episode. We've got a lot in store. This is just the prelude conversation leading up to the pressing of the record button, and it's going to be a lot.
Sobi was halfway into telling us why he was dressed in ice fishing gear, and I was like, I'm just going to hit record right now. This seems interesting, and it turned very rapidly after I hit the record button.
I looked up and saw the little red recording tab, but I stand by the statement. He could have. So
get you some ice picks. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
If you think that's controversial, go back to episode 1 when Bill explained to us all that Jeffrey Dahmer was probably a good hunter.
I don't think anyone disagreed.
I think he would have been. I don't think anyone would disagree with that last statement either. I mean,
We're just punching tags, dude.
Yeah.
Those are golden episodes, by the way. Even if somebody's a longtime PTB listener, go back to episode 1, 2, 3. Listen to those. It was actually about this time of year, I feel like, when you guys first started the pod.
2 years ago.
I was doing ice fishing tackle right here, and I had it on my screen here in the garage, and I watched, is Jeffrey Dahmer a good hunter?
I think he would have been.
Those first pods are so good.
Just fantastic. But all right, for everybody who's held on this long, I guess, with absolutely no intro, I'm Adam Bartusik. This is Pass the Barb. Thank you for listening to this point. Joined by good buddies, Ryan Pinkalla.
Yeah, what's going on? I'm happy to be back. I'm glad we got a full house tonight. I don't know if Honor's coming, but we got everybody else tonight. I'm looking forward to this one, and I think everybody's hyped. There's a lot of things been going on. We had a fun deer hunting episode last time, but there's going to be a little bit of that in this one. But I'm excited to see where everybody's at and what we got going on this week. But pumped for it, boys.
Awesome. And then we got Mr. Sam Sobi decked out. He's ready to go ice fishing.
Right here. This is motion float technology right here. This is an insurance policy. It floats. It's like a life jacket. And I'm ready. I'm trying things on. We're going to be ice fishing here, I think, later this week. This is a true change of seasons. While it's still hunting season for many folks, it's early ice season in about a week here for us upper Midwest folks. So I'm fired up for the pod, fired up for the change of seasons.
Incredible.
Love it. And as everybody heard so eloquently at the beginning of the podcast, we got Mr. Captain Bill Stolsky.
Yeah. Happy to be here, you guys. That was a nice little introduction there. But also very cold out here, if anyone's wondering. Snow on the ground, 7 degrees this morning in my pickup. So
how does the barn hold heat?
Better than I thought it would. This is the latest I've ever stayed here. So it's actually doing just fine. So
did the mice situation amplify, or did they not come?
Well, I haven't gotten any in a little bit, so I think we've talked about this before, but I get worried when I'm not killing them because they're somewhere, but they're not in my traps. So yeah, no, life is good here in the barn though. It's we're staying warm and yeah, the animals are doing good. We got chickens and a horse and a mule, so everybody's doing okay. So.
Talking about the barn, Bill, that makes in old episodes. I was scrolling through the podcast list the other day, and I just laughed to myself because one of the episode's names was Stolsky's impending homelessness.
Yeah.
And I've totally forgot that for legitimately a month you were going to be homeless.
I thought I was going to live in my teepee. Yeah.
He actually had a
That's
very
right.
solid plan, dude. Like he's like, I'm just gonna go down to the river. I'm gonna live there.
I was just going to live in the teepee, and I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. That would have been just terrible. I moved in with my buddy Gabe and his wonderful wife Abby. That was nice. They helped me out for about a month there in North Helena. But yeah, that's funny. Gosh, Bart, that feels like a long time ago. But
No, I was just rolling through the pods and I forgot about that. That was like Stolsky's impending homelessness. Oh my God. That was the start of the podcast.
I will say, I feel like he turned it around from at one point potentially being homeless to now dressed how you're dressed. For any of you listeners on Spotify, I think you should gander on over to YouTube and just see how nice this young man looks in his cream vest with the plaid. He's not homeless. And right now, because Cody Honor isn't here, he's top tier, best dressed.
Well, I sure appreciate that. Yeah, I had to work today, actually. So this was more for warmth than it was fashion, but it's nice when it does both, so.
Typical Sims guy.
And then he's drinking from a short glass, drinking a mixed drink. Yeah.
Just Carhartt.
Is that
here.
crystal? Is that crystal? What is that?
Yeah, this was imported. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you everybody for joining us for another episode. It's Thanksgiving week, so happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody has a great time with their friends and family this week. And I think kind of like an OG episode for everyone. We got no guests. It's just the boys.
Yes.
You
So
got
we're
that
gonna catch up and just have some fun. And I think Pink for sure has the agenda and I don't. So you can take over from here, Pink.
Yeah, I just want to say, so the last episode that we did, we finally got that 1K giveaway rolling. So we picked a winner for that, and they did actually. The winner has reached out to us, so we have an official.
Nice.
Yeah, he
who
hit
is
me up. I should find this real
His
quick.
name Kyle.
I have.
He couldn't believe he won.
He
He
was-
hit me up.
dude.
He DM'd to Pink. He DM'd me.
He was hyped, dude. This
He was-
guy is stoked that he won.
That's
And
awesome.
Awesome.
He said he almost drove off the road listening to the pod when he heard that he won.
Oh,
Which
that
I
would
was
be
like,
cool
that's
to
what
just
I'm
be
talking
mid pod listening and then be like, because I listen to a bunch of podcasts too, but imagine if somebody
and then you
calls
hear
me and I'm
your
like,
name.
Yeah, that was
you won. I'll be like, what?
yeah.
All right, his name is Kyle Matisic. That would be my guess.
Yeah, yeah.
He's from
Yeah,
Buffalo.
or Matasic or something. But yeah. So anyway, it's legit. We got it. We got this guy. He's a winner. So we're gonna have to hook him up with all this stuff. And I know we talked about like a lot of things. So I know we got a lot of good giveaway items for this. And I got to reach back out to Mavs. Got some stuff for him too. And man, this dude.
Yeah,
just
I
made
think
out
this is
big
a
time.
situation where we all need to individually reach out to him and handle our own
do.
individual portions.
We do.
Yeah.
Because there's zero way that one of us is going to be able to corral.
Oh,
all
there's
of it
zero
and then
chance.
Oh,
handle it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly.
no.
Yeah.
While we do have good giveaways, don't think for a second, Kyle, that we are organized. We never claim to be that, and we never. No.
I would expect delivery on these items sometime in the next week through year.
Yeah,
That
you will
seems
get them.
like a
It's gonna be
very good
stuff.
shipping.
But it's like a
timeframe.
sprinkling, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, hey, you know.
Actually, that's the one thing we ask from you, Kyle. I know you're listening to this right now. As you receive gifts for prize winnings, you send us messages and we will post them so that eventually we are peer pressuring whoever forgot theirs into getting it sent out.
But mark my words, you will receive it all
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
installments.
Yeah. So shout out Kyle. Yeah, we were waiting to do that 1,000 sub giveaway for so long, and then all of a sudden it was just like 1,000 way further. Like
Yeah.
just absolutely flew
So
past it.
shout out to all the listeners because you guys crushed it. That was sick. And I'm sure we'll probably do this again, like when we approach like another big milestone or whatever.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll do one. But that was cool. So I was pumped that he reached out. I read through all the messages. I was just dying. I was like, this guy is super psyched. So pays to be a fan of PTB. It's all I'm saying.
Hey, that does. I mean, it was a stuffed sack of winnings for sure. So
It's fat. Yeah.
Ty Waller. So
Well done, sir. Well done. But okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to some of you guys a little bit. I know we were chatting hunting last time, but since the last pod, I think a lot has gone down. There's been a lot of hunting, a lot of other things happening, a lot of weather things going down. But it's starting to feel like winter, boys.
It is.
It's changing
Yeah, it happened fast.
quick, real quick. But like me and Barty Boy, we had a little event this weekend. That was pretty badass, dude. Like it actually made me start. I've been hunting, doing a lot of other stuff. I finally, for the first time, felt like, dude, like it's almost ice season, boys. Like we had a freaking super fun ice fishing event. People were hyped. It actually got cold. Like just like seeing other people's excitement got me absolutely riled.
But like when you actually kind of get like, it's tough. If you're a passionate hunter, it's tough to like flip that switch. It seems like after ice season, when open water hits, it's like easy for everyone to be like, oh yeah, open water's coming, open water. But this is a little difficult to leave fall and leave hunting. But like you said, when you guys had the big thorn event and you feel it for the first time, like, oh shit. It's ice fishing.
Well, and like all these other people are like wicked excited, right? And they're like talking about like, dude, I think we're gonna have ice and this and that, or like I already had these ponds freeze by my house. I'm like, oh my god, it's like right here.
Yeah.
yeah, it happened really fast. Like Pink said, I mean, I wasn't on the last one because I've been busy editing, just a bunch of stuff for the Chronicles and various other things. But like Pink said, we went to Thorn. And it went from being like nice and everything. And I'm kind of watching the forecast, just being like, honestly, more than anything, being like, am I going to be good after St. Paul? Like kind of what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I'm like watching the forecast come in and all of a sudden I'm like, son of a bitch, I have nothing ready. And it's definitely going to be here before then. And oh my God, I am not ready. So that's where I am currently in like panic mode. Just trying to get everything ready as fast as I can.
Bart. Don't panic. Don't panic.
It'll be fine.
I won't panic. It'll be fine.
You need one rod, dude. Like,
you know what? Yeah, you know what I was thinking about today? I was like, everybody's getting jacked up, getting excited for that first ice rush. And part of me is like, I might just wait until there's like 7 or 8 inches again. Because I walked on enough 3 to 4 inches last year, man.
I agree.
I don't need to do
both
that
know.
Again.
You won't wait.
I probably won't. Griff will drag me out somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll be like, yeah, dude, there's 4 inches. And then I'll step out and be like, this is not 4 inches.
Hence the motion flow technology and the picks.
Hence the
motion
flow.
Exactly. And it's cheap insurance. Really, it is.
And a peace of mind and insurance policy.
Yes. I mean, you can't put a price tag on your life.
Yeah.
You can't.
Way
it's
to
not
go,
possible.
Bill.
You can't. I think, this might have some sort of flotation in it as well. I mean, you go down, the Carhartt vest will keep you up. So,
but for the low price of $7.99, you can have yourself a pair of beautiful eyes.
Adam, you know what I was not speculating, but talking about with we were talking about ice fishing here, and I was talking with Joe about this, and we were talking about we were watching the Crappie Chronicles video, I think. And Adam, do you remember when you almost quit ice fishing? You were like done with it. Do you remember that? That was
I quit for like a winter or two. It was after
it was after the 2IO thing, and like we
had like I went ice fishing like a ridiculous amount of times that winter while also having a full-time job and filming everything.
Yes, so I remember talking to you like after the winter. You're like, dude, I am done. Like, and you sold like most of your stuff.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I'm done.
You're like,
I kind of respect actually following through, because I feel like every ice fisherman probably 8 to 46 times in their life has said like, I freaking quit. I think I quit.
No, but Adam, I remember when
Adam actually sold it.
I legitimately did. There was 2 years cold turkey. I think I still worked the St. Paul ice show for Vexlar.
I think grudgingly
just to help out with Corey.
Yeah.
And then, but other than that, like I literally maybe fished once, like in the winter. But 1 year I know I never did. And 1 year I drug a house out myself.
I remember.
And then just sat in it for 5 hours, caught like 1 or 2 fish and went, yep. And I just pulled it out and didn't go out the rest of the year.
I remember texting you. You're like, dude, I am done. I'm like, what do you mean? You're like,
I want to hear in the comments down below from the listeners. Has anybody out there legitimately quit? Even
Which I respected, Adam.
I quit.
To go all the way with it.
I will say though, without that, there'd be no Chronicles now. Like, dude, that was such a good reset on just being so burnt out on it.
Yeah, no,
once I came back, I was all hyped and excited to do it. And like, I'm in the same spot now.
Break.
Yeah, but like that's where like I looked at you guys and I was like, I need a break. And then like the whole next winter, everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, sitting on my couch. watching
Not ice
football.
fishing. Yeah.
Nothing. I'm literally doing nothing.
Staying warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at the local brewery right now watching this Sunday night football game. It's pretty
Exactly.
sweet. Like,
Yeah.
not cold.
Thawing my stuff out. Yeah. But yeah, Joe and I were talking about that because it was, I don't know how it came up. But I was like, dude, I remember like, when Adam was just done. I mean, you were totally done. Finito. No
Bill,
more.
I think back to, I
Finito.
remember a time when we were filming back then where I was with you and we went out to go film a walleye bite.
Yeah.
And I remember you looking at me and being like, yeah, dude, we'll be good. We'll be like, I was out there in my truck or whatever the day before. And then we drove out just a hair further than you had drove the day before. And I remember drilling a hole, you looking at me and going, that's not enough ice for my truck. And then
I think that was me, you, and Hayes, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through. And you went, and I was like, well, what do we do? And you're like, well, it hasn't gone through yet. And we just set up the house and fished.
Yeah. That was on. It was a good bite, though. We caught some.
We did catch some fish. But then when we were leaving, we like loaded the stuff up and like backed straight up so slowly.
Yes. Got out of there. Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah, a lot of memories.
That is it. Yeah, that is exciting. Ice fishing is coming. So,
and when's the last time you really ice fished?
Yeah,
Bill?
when's the last time?
Since you're out in Montana now.
The last time I really ice fished was Christmas of last year, back home in Minnesota. But you guys probably remember it was like really we had junky ice,
Yeah.
even in Brainerd. Joe and I went and crappie fished a couple little lakes, and then usually me and my buddies would do like a Red Lake trip, like everybody does around Christmas, and like even the ice there was like bad, and we went up to Lake of the Woods and like fished, but like one of those things where you had to like park your sleeper on the shore, like it was just
Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. I didn't ice fish in Montana at all last year, but I did do a Fort Peck trip 2 years ago, maybe, and I would definitely do that again. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. The lake trout,
Yeah.
I liked that, and I think now too. Like I remember when we did it, it was a big crew. It was like Rello and Pappenfuss and Hunter Nitty and and Hayes and a bunch of guys.
That was the first time I ever met you, dude.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I think that trip was when we actually met each other.
Yes. Yep. And like Will had like the live scope, but it was like the early stages of it, like it wasn't all that like still worked, but like now I think you could go out there and like really get them,
Right, Mo.
Yeah, with the scope thing. So I would do that again. That was a lot of fun. I would totally do that, but yeah, I'll fish around Christmas at home, but around here, I don't know. It's just different, It's not like Minnesota. It's not
Do you have any sloughs or anything like sloughs that'll freeze over?
Some of these lakes here will, like some of these reservoirs of the Missouri, Holter Lake, Canyon Ferry, they'll get decent ice, but you can fish like walleyes and perch, but there's no like good like panfish or anything like that, which I really like doing that. I like to fish for crappies and bluegills.
Yeah.
That's what I think the cool transition of the winter is everyone goes and chases all these other species open water and then ice hits and we're all like, I'm pretty cool with the panfish.
Dude, yeah.
It's kind of fun,
The thing I miss the most about it, and you guys probably agree, is like, when you're in the Midwest, I mean, you just have like, especially during ice fishing season, you're just like have ample access to like good eating fish, crappies, walleyes, perch. And like out here, it's available kind of, but not like it is back home where you could go out and get your 10 crappies, every day if you wanted to, but now like crappies and walleyes to me, it's like a delicacy. Like we still have a few in the freezer from last winter, but like, I do miss like that aspect of it for sure. But I still like it. I still got my Vexilar, still got my 28. I suppose that's pretty outdated now, but
no, it's still a dialed unit.
Yeah,
still a good unit, but yeah, I don't know. I was there were some years I remember Thanksgiving we'd be fishing around Brainerd, not this year, but there were some years where that would be a thing. So,
Are you going home for Thanksgiving?
I am. Yeah, I fly out on Wednesday morning there till Sunday. So,
dude, you might have ice.
There might be
around like
you
Saturday,
might actually be able to.
Buddy Hayes might be rolling around there on Saturday. You guys,
yeah, I know. Me and Hayes used to have a tradition. We would do an annual like on Friday of that week. We would either, if there was ice, we'd ice fish. If not, we'd launch his boat at Zorba's and go fish Upper Gull for crappies and or Margaret and wreck them. But I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what shakes out. So
That's sweet.
I'm,
How about you?
I'm flying, so I can't like bring all my
Yeah.
gear, so.
Sobi, what you been up to, man?
Prepping for ice fishing. Deer camp kind of wrapped up for us, and that was cool. Wasn't anything crazy, but we killed 3 does, which is nice. A lot of meat in the freezer. And then this past weekend, Steph kind of helped me turn the page, because I don't know, I feel like the rut around my areas, it was kind of touch and go, and I almost feel like this cold front, things are about to get good. So I was like, let's not quit yet. And she's like, you're gonna ice fish next week, and I'm like, we should quit. So I live in this tiny little house with a tiny little garage with way too much shit in it, and we built these racks. So like we have a rack for bow hunting, a rack for ice fishing, a rack for bass stuff, a rack for old clothes and random stuff. So like we do like a flip flop. So I was been flip flopping all that. So I've been prepping, and I'm excited. Like you can see them in my bibs now. The garage is an absolute gong show. I don't know how well you can see it behind me. It is just a gong show of stuff everywhere. But I'm ready. I'm ready to go up. I think I'm going to go hang out in northern Minnesota here later this week, kind of right around Thanksgiving, maybe even over Thanksgiving, and hopefully get on
what's going on with the boys.
The weather, the forecast looks incredible. So meat is in the freezer and ice is on the way.
Dude, I will say, like, for me, I know there's plenty of people who don't ice fish or obviously are very avidly into hunting. But I do think, like, one thing that has kept me so glued to ice fishing is there's something so special about, like, the first ice chase. Like, that time of year, like, with your buddies and, like fun. That first 3 or 4 weeks,
Yeah, it
like,
is special.
It's so special.
Yeah,
you're still excited until like I would say like January 15th, and then you're like, this fucking blows, man. It's cold.
Then you're hoping someone's got an ice castle you can sit in,
Yeah,
and like you boys are saying too, it's fun, like because you don't besides like May, you don't really target bluegills or crappies ever. Like at least we don't,
Yeah.
And then like ice hits, and I'm like bleeding it, I want crappies in my life. I want fat gills in my life. I want some walleyes again. It's like we haven't chased those for so long, or I haven't. So I don't know. It's like you can almost kind of like when Adam quit ice fishing, you can almost like when you live in the Midwest, you can quit 4 different times throughout the year and then you're totally refreshed. Like right when bass fishing gets long, you can be like, I quit. and then
you get quit for 6 months.
Then right when ice fishing, then you can deer hunt. Then right when deer hunting gets long, you haven't shot shit, you're like, I quit.
Right.
And then when ice gets long,
seasons
you're like,
are
I quit.
Seasons are low key awesome. I feel so bad for people in Florida or whatever that it's just open all the time, all year.
Yeah. Or like Arkansas.
I couldn't do that, man.
I don't
Seasons are legit.
Plus, it lets you just go ham for like a prescribed period of time.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the best way of saying it. A prescribed period of time.
Yeah.
That's like great. With the hunting thing. It's like I'm coming off of it right now. It's been like 2.5 months of just like all I think about. And it's like go, 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 go. Now it's to the end and you're kind of like, well, it's kind of done, I guess. Like, I mean, there's still some opportunities, but you're like, man, like we gave her.
You gave her. And now you're like,
feel satisfied.
Yeah,
that's legit.
That's cool.
I like it. But Sobi, I guess I did one thing you had on that agenda, Pink, that we should probably touch on because there won't be another podcast before the St. Paul Ice Show.
Then let's talk about this for sure.
Will not be.
Yeah, so we should probably tell the people. So for anybody who's thinking about going to the St. Paul Ice Show, they should come to the St. Paul Ice Show because me, Pink, Waldo Griff, and Sobi will be there all day, every day in the Thorn booth.
Mm-hmm.
It.
So if you want to see us, you want to get some Chronicle merch or some LTAB merch, or just show us pictures of big fish you catch, chat, whatever. We're gonna have like a couple tall banners set up over there. We'll have a table, like we'll have a whole area, so you can come find us.
Out a little.
And we'll be slinging merch. We'll be slinging merch and talking fishing, and that's like the coolest deal about ice fishing is like there's such a unique culture around ice fishing of some folks that don't even fish open water, some folks that don't even partake in other outdoor activities, but they're hardcore ice anglers, and we bleed that shit too. So it's like, come tell your stories. Let's freaking trade ice stories. And let's BS and look at a bunch of sweet tackle from every vendor from every side of the ice or winter and just like
plus,
the whole. the whole deal.
This is the biggest ice fishing show in the world, dude.
It's big.
Like it's
The heck
the
of a
one.
show. I've
So
only
it's
been
like-
one time, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it keeps getting bigger. And like even this year, I saw there's a massive list of new vendors too. So I'm even hyped to like cruise around and be like,
What's
is
the
all
place you go where you get the big beers?
the big beers?
Oh,
You know, where you can get like the
I know many beers.
No, like the big ones. Like you can buy like the 40s there. What's the name of that bar? It's not too far.
Oh,
I
you're
don't know.
talking Tom Reed's Hockey Pub?
Yeah, is that what it is?
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
where we're
well,
going.
that's where we go
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not during the show, but yes.
Oh, I know not during,
all are welcome there too.
but I'm talking about post. I mean, yeah.
We'll be at Tom Reed's too. So yeah.
I won't be there, but I wish I could be. When is the show?
December
Next
6th through the
weekend.
8th
Yeah.
No.
at the St. Paul River Center, downtown St. Paul. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone
And-
should go to Tom Reed's. Yeah, that place is awesome.
it'll
Yeah.
be bumping, dude. It always is.
It's
Yes.
a freaking sweet show. If you've gone once, you got to go again. And if you've never gone, you have to go. It is. I've been to however many Bassmaster Classics, and they're cool. The weigh-in is cool there. The expo or the show, it's honestly not that sweet. ICAST been there plenty of times. It's not that cool. The St. Paul Ice Show is actually a bumping giant sports show. And it's got so many different booths and vendors, and people bring different stuff you've never seen. And ice fishing is so full of gizmos, gadgets, gear, opposed to just tackle or normal industry stuff. It's freaking cool, and people mod stuff out. It's gnarly. If you want to drink beers and walk around and see cool shit, you got to go there.
Yeah. So for sure, come by. We'll be there the whole time. So it's not like previous years where you've had to hang out, wait for like a meetup line or whatever. Then you chat with us for like a minute or two, and it's kind of lame. You can see us at any point in the day, whatever. We have a seminar on Saturday is that 1 or 2, Pink? Do you remember?
I believe it's at 1. It's like the middle, the big slot in the middle of the day.
Yeah, so Saturday we'll have a seminar, Chronicle guys will, but otherwise, like if you're coming by and maybe you're trying to think of a sneaky time where you just want to chat with us for a while, Fridays always a great time, and Sundays always a great time. Saturday gonna be a mosh pit. It's gonna be really busy, but
So
it'll be a great time.
Are you doing a seminar at all, Sobs, or what?
No seminar. Just kind of running the LTAB booth next to the Chronicle booth and
hanging,
just
right
hanging. And this is the first year I've really been hanging there in many years. I've usually just done the meetup for a couple hours, and it's the meetup is awesome. But like Adam said, it's just cool to be. We'll be there the whole time. So you want to?
Yeah, Sobi, when was the last time you were there all day? That had to have been TYO days, right?
Yeah.
Like that was pre-Peric, so that would have been like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's a long
Got
burn.
to get my show legs under me.
I would highly recommend purchasing some new tennis shoes before the event.
Some
It's actually
fresh
a really
dudes.
good idea.
Some fresh dudes, man.
Don't get dudes.
Can I do the on clouds?
Yeah, on clouds or Brooks. Like actually nice shoes.
Where are your Burks?
I will say low key that I was talking to Waldo about it the other day, but low key the best shoes I've ever worn for a show have been Crocs.
Really?
Yeah,
I
don't know
can't,
why.
dude. I just can't.
How
I
is it
can't-
better than dudes? It's like
My back didn't hurt as bad, and
I'm
my
dudes
knees
all
didn't hurt
day,
as
dude.
bad.
I am dudes all day.
Dudes crush me, but yeah,
I'm duded out as well.
good
thanks.
tennis shoes are
Yeah,
like
I hear you.
legit.
No, that's where I'm gonna be at.
Dude,
Straight dudes.
Yeah,
maybe they
but-
want to sponsor the pod.
Yeah,
Bring
I-
it. Let's
I
go.
They've
need
been
to buy some
sponsoring some
shoes,
stuff
dude.
lately. Shout out, dude.
Shout out,
Dude,
dude.
shoes.
Shout out, dudes.
Yeah,
Shout out, dude.
that's your only free ad.
What
That's
you know?
it.
What you know?
No
Dude,
more.
I have to
No, we're
show
done.
this.
Show it.
All right, but anyways, so people come to St. Paul Ice Show and see us. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast, dude. It always is, but this year I'm just like especially hyped. I think it's gonna be a really good show.
What Sobs got here?
What is he pulling in?
Probably
He's
got the
pulling in.
dude boots.
He's
No,
got the dude.
co-
Oh, I got those, dude.
Comment down below
Comment
if
down
anybody
below.
has shoe recommendations. I am the furthest out of the shoe game that anyone possibly could be. If there's a local kid in the 6th grade who owns 2 pairs of Jordans or different shoes, he has quadrupled my shoe game in the past decade. I have ice boots. I have like the blackfish boots, like for fishing.
Yeah, sure. So they have the slippies. Yeah.
Basically, I just rep flops in the summer. And then these are a pair of shoes from my freshman year of college. And I still wear them to this day, a pair of Nike SBs. And
nice. Classic, though.
Those are the only shoes I own, besides a pair of workout shoes from my next door neighbor that gave them to me.
They have
those
0 miles on them.
They've got about 3 miles on them, and that's just from the white girl workout. So that's
are those a pair of Asics, or what are those?
They're Asics wides, because once you're over the age of like 55, you buy the wides.
You got to.
But if they're given to you for free, you just rep the wides.
Well, are you still burning these YouTube workouts to the ground or what?
I really kind of got off of them after hunting season. So I'm back to square one. I feel like I was in worse shape than I was before, but about to pull the sled here soon, so it's all right.
Right, that'll melt off.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I really, after we started deer hunting, we kind of quit.
You're like, I'm out there sitting in the tree all day. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I'm busy, and
no more time
sitting there. Oh, Christ.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's good. But yeah, Sobi, invest in some good shoes before that.
I will. I just need recommendations from anybody who has them, because I'm
drop a comment. Drop
a comment. Let us know some good show shoes. I just got some Brooks. They were really good when we were in Dakotas, down at the Dakota Angler Show. But I know On Clouds are good. I've heard just something nice.
Yeah, something nice.
Yeah, something nice, real nice.
What do we got next, Pink?
Let's do a little what in the world's going on. I feel like we haven't done this one in a little while. I don't know if you guys have anything. I do have one. This came across just like social media recently that I was like, I don't know. I guess I've seen a few of these before. I know we talked about one very similar to this on the pod. Man, must have been last fall. But like everybody posts everything on social media now and like hunting or whatever, so you kind of get to see it. And like I think last year we maybe talked about some stuff like some of the drone recovery stuff for deer, right? They're using them like find wounded bucks, that type of thing, and then like the tracking dogs, all that stuff. So there was one that got posted. I think I have the screenshot of it, so while I'm talking I'm gonna find it, because I don't exactly recall like with a state it was in. But anyway, there was like one of these deals with a tracking dog that some dude shot this buck, and like it's becoming more and more common for people to call in for these trackers, because they're pretty easy to like get a hold of now. Like a lot of DNR resources have like access to these people.
That's cool. So
this one I think is actually in Minnesota, so I guess I didn't even realize that. Stern Game Recovery. Anyway, they posted this thing. So they had this was a multi-day recovery mission. So they had a tracking dog that they got involved. They ended up finding this deer alive, right? Which is pretty common, that you would like bump the deer or whatever if it wasn't a super lethal shot. But the interesting thing about this one is that they got back on the deer's track or whatever, and the deer ended up going out into the Mississippi River, swimming out there, but it died swimming across the river. Okay. No. And like typically deer like float. Like, I don't know if you ever like drug one through like where you had to take it with a boat or whatever, but like a deer typically floats. Well, this deer sank to the bottom of the river. Okay. So they tracked the deer to the water, the whole thing, went out in there. And what happened was it was dead and it was floating out there, and they thought, oh, we could go get a kayak and go get it. So they left, they went and got it. Well, in the meantime, the deer sank while they were trying to get this kayak to go out and recover it.
Oh no.
So they went out there and they tried to like see if they could locate it or whatever. They ended up coming back the next day with a boat, and they found the deer with Livescope.
You're kidding.
And were able to recover the deer from the Mississippi River using Livescope. And they actually have a picture. Like I think I sent you guys a link to it.
I read the article, Pink. The picture is amazing. It's in like the bottom.
Yeah. So they have a picture of the buck laying in the boat, Livescope shuttle on the back seat. And they got the buck in the boat. So that like literally happened like maybe a week ago or so.
That's crazy.
But that's the first one that I'm aware of, deer recovery with Livescope.
Can you imagine the editorial production had someone just been capturing that whole thing?
Dude, I wish I had just seen a screenshot of the graph.
Yeah.
Like when they were like, that's got to be it, dude.
like
could you see that?
That's wild.
Dude? Like,
did they have a big hook or something?
Do you think they had like a grappling hook, or how do you think they like did it? I didn't say in the article, if I remember correctly. I read it, but I'm not
No,
sure.
and it didn't say like how deep the water was either, or like anything. But man, I was like, what a freaking emotional roller coaster that probably was, right? They find the deer alive and they're like, oh, we got him. And then we're gonna get another shot on him or whatever. And then it goes out in the river. Oh, it can't go. Oh, and then it died. Oh, good. We'll just go out there and get it. Oh, now it's sank to the bottom. Now what are we gonna do? Oh God. Well, I got scope. Okay, that could work. And then you find it actually.
And then you actually pull it up.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. I wonder how they got it. Maybe a grappling hook, I don't know.
So if anyone listening, I didn't realize this was in Minnesota. So if anyone listening to this knows the legit full story on this, let us know.
Or those people, hook us up. We'll have them on. I want to chat with them.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear how this actually played out. I mean, the article kind of lays it out, but I'm sure there was some things.
Can you imagine like 10 years from now, like somebody, they're in your garage and they see your Euro mount and you're like, oh, there's a story behind this. And you're like, oh, really? And you're like, no, really.
No, like there actually is.
There is, yeah. Like
Screenshot of the live scope, like on the wall.
I can see that now. Like you're down at the bar, people are talking about like deer hunter, whatever. Like, oh, these guys are just fucking, they're scoping all these bucks off the fucking bottom.
out the bottom.
Yeah. I've been scoping.
Yeah.
That's
So anyway, any of these live scope guys, they could maybe get in the deer recovery game,
Yeah, the guys that are really good, I mean,
they're like, oh, we'll find him.
Speaking of deer stories and what's going on in the world, Ryan, have you tuned into the Wisconsin deer camp? What is it?
It's called the Wisconsin Deer Hunters Roundup. It's
Roundup.
It's
the 98Q Country is the radio station. It's in Wisconsin. They broadcast it online. If you Google it, you'll find it. I listened to one episode so far. I was actually going to listen to it tonight, but it started at 6. It's like 6 to 8, I think, is when they broadcast every day. But it's this whole week. So this will come out on Wednesday. If you're listening to this, it will go through next weekend. It is absolutely beautiful. Opening weekend is always an amazing time to listen to it. And they started like archiving the episodes so you can go back and listen to them. And they're so good, dude. Like there's just, if you've never heard of this before, I know we talk about in the pod every fall. But basically, it is a radio show 100% dedicated to deer camps in Wisconsin.
That's
people from all over the state call in with like their camp name, updates, many very drunk. It's awesome. It's so fun.
Hammered.
It's like a nice mix of like piss drunk people at deer camp and like children calling in. And it's like there's just so much dynamic. It's incredible. It really is. But yeah, no, it's fun to listen to. It's a 2-hour radio show, and legit the entire time they just talk about like what is happening in the deer woods in Wisconsin for the whole week. It's awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's straight comedy gold. Like you could not write what is happening on this show every day. So I'm bummed I missed it tonight, but I'll probably go back and try to find it when they post the episode. So we'll see.
You gotta send me a link to that again.
We'll post it on social media. I'll post it on the Instagram page for PTB so people can find it super easy.
Cool.
Okay, so for mine, little bit shorter, not necessarily crazy story, but I think it's very noteworthy for our world. The Mille Lacs walleye limit this winter is actually 2 walleyes.
Yeah.
Shut up.
18 to 20 inches, or one walleye 18 to 20 and one longer than 28. So honestly, like people listening to this might think like, what the hell? But like, you haven't been able to keep, you weren't able to keep a walleye out there for a long time.
Years.
And then the last winter or two, you've been able to keep one.
But they had to be big, dude.
Yeah, and they had to be
21
big.
to 23, something weird like
they
that.
were hog walleyes. Yeah.
And now it is 18 to 20 inches. You can keep 2. Like, honestly, it's awesome to hear for that community.
Yeah.
Because they need it. And I think there'll be a bunch of traffic going back there. And I fished there this summer and have talked to a lot of people about the lake. People who guide on the lake, like for smallmouth and walleye and stuff. Most of the people say right now they don't know if the lake's ever been better, like flat out.
There's been no shortage of walleye.
Like it is. Well, and I'm saying smallmouth, perch. Like, dude, you go out there and you go fish reefs. There is clouds of perch, shiners, Cisco, bait fish, you name it, everywhere.
Wow.
So all the fish are bowling balls. Like they're eating so good. The lake's extremely fertile. There's a really good perch population back from what I've heard. I know like Tony Roach and some of those guys have been talking about how they'll be guiding for them actually again, which that hasn't happened in a super long time.
That's sweet.
So yeah, awesome to hear. Hopefully a bunch of people get to go up to Mille Lacs this winter and have a good time. I know Pink, was it you and Waldo went up there?
Yeah,
one weekend last year when we were done filming.
Yeah, me and Waldo and JB and Hayes, we did a little gentleman's fishing excursion towards the end of the season, and we went up there. Yeah, we just fished for one day. I mean, we probably had like a 20 fish day probably. Just straight, ice fishing. We had some tip ups out and stuff, but we were catching them jigging and tip ups. We caught some really nice ones. I mean, like we kept our I think we got three in the slot for 4 guys, which was like, I think they were all like 21 to 23, I think was a slot last winter. So we had 3 in that, and then that was the day that Billy came out there with his buddies, and they caught a couple slot fish too, and they came like kind of at the end. So yeah, we caught between them and us, we probably caught 25 walleyes that day, and we never.
And you shot some editorial content on a little garlic honey action, right?
I did. I posted actually a really good video from that day. So
on your YouTube,
that
sick video.
Yeah,
and it did good. It did really good actually. So, maybe I'll have to do that again. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, walleye banging through the ice is really fun. Like I feel like I walleye fish a good amount in the open water season, but like when it comes to ice, especially with doing the crappie thing, it's like we don't do it that much. Like we still catch some here and there, but it's like going on a dedicated.
I will say our appreciation for walleye through the ice now when we do catch one is very high.
It is.
Like we catch one and we're like, oh shit, dude, it's a walleye.
But we also then knife it immediately.
Yeah,
so
very
sight unseen.
Yeah. But hey, whatever. But yeah, no, I like walleye, and like that was probably one of the more fun ice fishing trips I had was going to Mille Lacs and catching them. And I hadn't really done that much before through the ice on Mille Lacs, so I was like, this is
I don't think a lot of people have done it in a really long time just because you haven't gotten to keep fish. So I know everybody's been ripping up to Lake of the Woods, Red, Leech, you name it. Like Mille Lacs is literally an hour and a half from the metro. It is fishing. It has been fishing phenomenal for the last year and a half. And I honestly do not expect that to change in the winter because the water's fairly tannic now. Again, or in areas, it's not pure, just crystal clear from when I have heard. But I think it'll be good. Water levels are good. Bait's good. Everything's lining up.
Yeah,
so
we'll see. I mean,
really
like
exciting for the community.
I hope it just booms. I hope it booms, and I hope a million people go there because you just hear about, like, I feel like anybody who is our parents' age, they talk about the story. Everybody has a story. They used to go up to Mille Lacs and the towns out there and the permanents, and it was just the culture around Mille Lacs ice fishing back in the day it was
a really big deal.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be one of those years. Like if we get a really good ice here, a ton of people go, like the fish are there, like people are going to bang them.
Yeah.
Like you put that many people out there, they're going to catch them.
Well, and from what we're seeing with the forecast now, we're going to get a really good base ice layer. That's pretty evident looking at the forecast right now. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. People should get excited for it and go try out Mille Lacs if you haven't been there in a while.
That was good. I did not
shout out Nitty's Hunters Point.
Yeah.
Great place to go drink and eat food and stay.
Yes, absolutely.
When did they post that information?
I think it was like a week or two ago. I remember seeing it, and then you brought up this, and I was like, "This is what I was going to talk about for this segment." So I had to Google it again. But yeah, that's what it is for the.
Well, that's good. That's good for the lake. That's good for the people that work there. All that stuff. So
yep. But Bill, you got anything or nah?
Yeah, I just want to hijack this. I'd like to give a big shout out to brother Joe, my brother Joe,
the champ.
The
world champ.
World champ. You're right.
For people who don't know, world champ.
Joe has been hunting his tail off all fall, and he's had a very good season. He drew an antelope tag, so he killed an antelope. He killed an awesome mountain mule deer buck opening weekend. But then he's been hunting elk, and really trying hard at it. And I've been hunting with him a little bit too. But last Friday, I was supposed to guide, and it was really nasty out. And my trip got canceled in the morning. And so I called Joe and I said, hey, let's go hunting. Like it's gonna be pretty good, I think. Snow and sleet kind of stuff. And we went out on Friday, and Joe was able to shoot his first elk on Friday, a cow elk, a really big cow.
Yes.
And man, it was awesome. I was so happy to be a part of it. It made a great shot, like 425 yards, and
Whoa.
Yeah, put her down, and man, it was just so cool, and I was like so happy to be there and be a part of it. So yeah, shout out to brother Joe. And it was so nice that we killed it on Friday, because then we had all of Saturday to process the whole thing, get it all cut up. So, but yeah, it was awesome. It was like so cool. One of my like favorite hunting moments I've ever had,
That's so cool. And to do with your little brother, and it's his first one, and it's an elk, like it's a freaking big.
Oh, it was so cool, man. And he had archery hunted elk like so hard in September, and it was close. And then, rifle season, we had hunted like quite a bit after we got our deer, and we were always like right there. And then it all came together on Friday at about 4:00, and it was just so cool. I mean, it was really, really awesome. So just couldn't be happier for him, and happier for me too, because now we've got elk in the freezer.
I was gonna say, I'm honestly like mad jealous.
No, it was awesome. So shout out to brother Joe. He's not an avid listener, but he may be listening. But yeah, it was really, really cool.
Shout out to the world.
You'll have to get us a couple pics we can throw up on the PTB Instagram.
Yes, I will.
I saw you sent me a couple snaps of you guys cutting meat, and I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together that you guys scored.
Yeah.
I was like,
just on,
because you were messaging me about like sausage making or whatever, and I thought, maybe they're like getting her going.
Yeah. That was pre-elk, Ryan. And I luckily we got one, and so now my hunting season is done. We have more than enough meat, So, but man, it was so cool. I was so happy I got to be there for it.
Did you guys have some victory beers that Friday night?
Yeah, we got it out. We were back to the truck by about 9, and then went back to Joe's place in Helena, and had quite a few, but we're probably in bed by 10. I was just exhausted, Yeah, had a couple, but yeah, it was awesome. So happy for brother Joe. It was really
so cool, dude. Well, congrats, dude. That's badass.
It was very cool. So yeah,
dude, meat down.
Yeah, felt good.
Hell yeah.
That's sweet. Awesome.
All right.
Well, Pink, what do we got next?
I mean, I guess we kind of got a little bit of the hunting chatter here, but still, other than that epic little elk mission, did you end up doing any more hunting after we talked? I know you'd shot your buck like right before we recorded the last pod.
Yep. So yeah, I got my buck, and then that was pre-elk. So then I just had a whitetail doe tag, and so I went out and hunted it last week, and yeah, actually it wasn't very good. I went to a couple spots where I thought they would be, and just they weren't there, and so things weren't really like. And I elk hunted a little bit, but just wasn't really coming together. So I'm like really happy that we got this elk, because like other than that, I didn't have like a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
And but yeah, now the big game will be done for me, and so yeah, that's kind of the end of my big game season. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got back this past week from that Montana trip. So
yeah, I got a nice buck. That was a cool buck.
Yeah. So and that was
kind of you told me about it. I'm sure you're going to talk about this though, but the story about it's even better. Because you guys had one tag.
Yeah, so like the way every hunt plays out is like a little bit different, right? And like going into this one, so like I don't know, the way that we are like at strategy for like applying for tags is we typically, unless it's something that's like really hard to draw, we don't typically put in as a group. So like for Montana, for a non-resident, like there's good draws with no points, and then like you're guaranteed the deer tag with 2 points. So it's like there's kind of this weird thing. So we're just like, we had no points going in this year, and we're like, let's just put in separately, because I was like, we might both get it, we might neither get it, but if one of us gets it, at least we can still go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our thing. It's like, well, at least we have one tag, we can still both go and hunt and like whatever. So I did not draw this year. He drew. And so he was pumped. And like we both drew last year. I shot like a decent 4x4 last year. And he shot a pretty small, like 2, just like a meat buck, right? 2x2, a little guy. And so, and he was stoked with it or whatever. But this year he's like, all right, like I want to, he's like, let's put in, like, we're going to go for 4 days. We kind of planned this out. And we actually ended up moving it. We were going to go this coming weekend to like really hit the rut good. But we ended up having that this weekend, like that just happened. And we had that Thorn Brothers event. So I'm like, dude, I'll go. But it's like, it's got to be the weekend before, you know? So he was like, all right, we'll do that. So I'm like, cool. So we drove out there and I'm thinking like, okay, we got 4 days. We're going to hunt like Saturday through Tuesday. We're like, we ought to be able to at least find a buck to shoot in that time, you know? And, we drove out there. We drove like we left like after work, whatever, on Friday, drove through the night. We got to our camp spot at like 4 a.m. And it was super cold. Like, I think, did you say you hunted Friday?
Yeah, on Friday.
So, okay. So we drove, so we drove out there Friday.
Yeah.
We get there and I'm like, all right, well, we're just going to crash in the truck or what? Cause it gets light at like just before like about 7, right?
Yeah.
So we were like, well, sleeping in the truck ain't going to be the deal. So we just literally unpacked the back of the truck. We put up our tent like at 4 a.m, put the tent up and everything, threw the cots in there, got the heater going, and we both just crashed for a couple hours. We're like, okay. Woke up and it was already cracking light. We're like, all right, let's just get our stuff on and go. So we freaking threw our boots on, got the pack, started just hiking right out of camp. And dude, like, we didn't even make it out of the campsite and we ran into the first deer. Like we had got into like 5 muley does like all together, whatever. We're like, okay, that's cool. So we keep going up. And like this year and last year, it was like you couldn't shoot a doe mule deer on public ground. Like I was like, you know, so the tag he had was basically just a buck tag. And so we go up in there and we're hitting does like all the time. We're like, man, the deer numbers seem pretty good compared to what they were last year in the same area. And then probably about an hour in, spot the first buck. I seen some does like bedded out in the wide open and glass them up. And I'm like, okay, well, they're bedded like, you know, weird spot, but there's got to be more. There's like all these little aspen pockets and stuff. So we start kind of slinking around on some of these cliffs and like glassing. And we get into this spot, dude, and it was just like deer everywhere. We're like, oh God, they're here. They're here. Like next thing you know, we're looking at like probably a dozen deer all spread out through this little drainage. One buck, it was like just a 2x2, but he actually had a pretty wide frame, but he wasn't like, he was just like big fork on both sides, right? And I was like, I'm like, well, I mean, he's not bad, but like, you want to shoot that one? And he's like, nah. He's like, I'm looking for one that's like at least 4x4 sort of thing, like decent buck. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like in my head, I'm like, perfect. And we ended up sitting up on some other knobs. We actually did see some elk. That was cool. I've seen a couple in this unit, but not many. And we saw that first morning, we saw a herd of 8 elk. And they looked like all cows, but we were like, that's sweet. And I'm like, literally, it was in one spot. I had like 2 bars of service. I like go on the app. I'm like, are there any B tags left? Like, you know, and because Montana is cool because you could just buy the tags right on the app. But like, if you bought it, like you could just go hunt like right now. So anyway, that didn't pan out. So we keep hiking, and like every ridge we go over, we're like turning up some deer and just not much for bucks at all. And we go further back in, and then we finally see like, I see one buck just by itself, just standing there. It has no idea we're there. I threw my tripod up. I got the spotter on it, and I'm like, it's just a tiny little guy. But then another buck came in behind it that looked like it had a frame on it. We're like, okay, that's something. And then it like, they both turn and start like cruising through this little thing of timber. And we're like, there's no way they winded us. And like, they definitely didn't see us. So I don't know what just happened. So we just start booking it up there. Cause we're like, if we can get over that ridge, they could be pretty close. Well, we get up that way and there's 2 other guys like coming from the other way. And these bucks must've seen them and then boosted out. Well, we go up there, dude. And like, we chat with these guys for like 2 seconds. And it was crazy. There was 2 other guys from Minnesota too, which is crazy.
Weird.
But and they were just like, oh yeah, we just got here this morning and we're just like hiking. And I don't know where we're going to go. And we're like, okay, cool. And then we're like, did you see those bucks? And they were like, yeah, that one looked pretty good. And they were like not going after it at all. So we're just like, okay, well, see ya. So we kept going and they took a totally different direction. We go over like 2 more ridges, bump this doe and goes over. So now it's been like 2 hours. We've seen like 30 deer probably and like maybe 4 bucks. And And I'm still thinking like, okay, we're going to cover some ground. We're going to get eyes on a bunch of deer. And then we're going to decide like if we're going to go back in and try to kill something or what. Cause we got a couple days, you know? So I'm like, we go over this next ridge right where we just bumped this doe. We walk over the top and it's like, this whole area is just all like really short pine trees. You know, they're like maybe 5 feet tall and everything else is just wide open. So we go over the top of that and this doe, like we're sitting on top of this ridge and this doe walks out from my left at like 80 yards. And I'm like, oh, there's deer right here, you know? And I like throw my binos up and it's like this doe comes walking out and this buck is right on her. Like totally like nose to the ground right behind her going. I was like, oh shit, here we go. And I was like, this one looks decent. And I'm looking at him in the binos and I'm like, he's like broadside to me. So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, he's like a 4x4, I think. And I'm like, he's not terrible. And then he kind of gets down in front of me and he turns his head and I'm like, oh, okay. It looks like he's like, you might have like a 5th point on that one side, but I'm like, he's kind of narrow. Like he was a tall buck, but like kind of narrow rack or whatever. And I'm just like staring at it in the binoculars and I'm like talking out loud, like to my dad sit like right next to me or whatever. And he's like, oh, does it look good? And I'm like, yeah, it's like not bad. I'm like, it's not real big. Like, I don't know. Like we could probably, you know, I think we'll find another one or whatever. And I take my binoculars down like this and I just turn and he's laying down, rifle out, like ready. I'm like, oh shit. So, and I was trying to like film, like, I'm like, I'm going to try to get this, you know, whatever. And so I'm like, he's like about to freaking shoot. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, I got my camera thing. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, yeah. And next thing you know, the buck gets out there, starts to turn or whatever. And I'm just like, kind of like, still like, I have no idea if he's actually going to shoot or whatever. And I was like, I mean, he's not a bad buck. And he's just like, boom. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like totally not expecting it. It was like super funny, which was crazy. And the buck goes down. He ended up shooting it again, putting it down. And then, and we were like, that was sick. Like I was expecting like we're literally going to probably like be glassing for like 2 or 3 days before we actually like get an opportunity. It was literally 2.5 hours into the first day and we had a buck down. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. So we cruised down there and check him out and we're like, you know, high five and the whole thing. He was pumped. And I was like, man, that got my heart going, you know? And so we spent whatever, and it was 10:30 in the morning. So we spent a little time getting him cut up and everything and packed him back to camp. And I told him, I was like, all right. And like, I don't want to just like leave. Like we were planning on being here till Tuesday anyway. I'm like, what am I going back to work? No. So like, okay. So the next day was like, I said, that's fine. Well, we got this whole buck out. We got it out in one trip. It was only like, we were maybe like 2.5 miles in from our camp. So we got it out in one trip. It was no big deal. And I'm like, all right, well, here's the deal. I was like, tomorrow we are porky hunting. Like I brought a 22. I'm like, we are hardcore porcupine mission tomorrow. Like I was like, we're killing a big one. Like I'm gonna find me one. And so we go to bed that night and we were pumped. Like it was a super good night and celebrating a little bit, wake up in the morning. We got up like early, dude. Like we were going freaking deep. You know, I'm like, we're getting up early. We're gonna drive over to this spot. So we did. We got up, we hiked in there and hiked a couple miles or whatever. And man, we were like seeing deer and elk all over the place. We got into a herd of like 27 elk that second day. All cows with one spike. And I was like, and we were like in them, dude. They were close. And of course we only had the one deer tag. So I was kind of like a little bit bummed that we didn't have another like buck to go after. And I walk in on just a slammer, dude. Stolsky, I'll have to send you this video, dude. I walk it, just this massive frame 3x4. I had him at 60 yards. I walked right. It was him and a doe and like this little timber thing. Walked right into him. And I was like, oh, that's the right one. You know,
always see them when you're like not hunting or like you don't have a tag, you know? Like, it never fails.
Yeah. So, and whatever. I mean, it was still sweet that we had our buck down and everything, but
right. Exactly.
Oh, that one's so huge.
Yeah.
And, and so whatever, after that, we're just hunting through this area and we'd actually found like somebody else. So this was like my G porcupine spot. Like if someone was like, I'll give you $100 if you can go kill one right now, I'm going to this place right here. And we start hiking into this place not long into where I'm like, dude, we got to be getting into them soon. And there is a porcupine hide laying there. Like somebody had shot one and skinned it out. And I'm like, somebody's on the G, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck.
We've been beat.
Like they're cleaning us out.
Oh my God.
And so we hike a couple miles into this thing. There's game everywhere, right? I'm like, this is crazy. And And it's getting like later in the morning now, and it's getting kind of warm out, and I'm like not feeling good about this anymore. I'm like, dude, like they are not going to be out. They're all going to be in their little caves or whatever, because like they get in the little cliff things and they just hide out in there. I'm like, fuck, they're going to be gone, man. And we kind of had split up and we're cruising these ridges, and next thing you know, I'm like, my dad, he's like walking this ridge across from me, and he's like waving his arm or whatever, and I'm like, God, I hope he's seen one. And I come cruising over there. He's like, dude, I found one. I freaking found it. And it was, dude, I shit you not. It's like, it's so perfect. It's like we're on this ridge and then it drops away really steep on the other side. And it is asleep in this pine tree right on the other side of this ridge that we're sitting on. So we glassed him up, and it was like, it was pretty close. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to walk right under this thing. You know, like I'm going to slide right in there. Friggin' got down in there, cruised around, got right below the tree it was in. It was like 25 feet up in this pine tree. And I got right under the tree. Thing is asleep, dude, like out cold. And just
good eye on your dad.
Dude, lasered this thing out of this pine tree. And it came aggressively crashing down to the ground. Like I'll just send you guys the video. It's freaking like, it's awesome. But it was like a 30-pound porcupine. It was a pretty big one.
That's what I was going to ask next. Like, what do you think it weighed?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was big. And like, dude, in the video too, like it hits the ground just like with this thud, man. That's just something else. And dude, I was hyped. So I skinned it out, freaking butchered that thing right there. Put all the meat in my pack and got out of there. But yeah, it was fun, dude. Like we had that, and I ended up doing some other hikes because we stayed for another day after that. And I was just hiking around because I had the 22 with. I was like zapping rabbits and stuff. And we were making meat, dude.
That's like a true hunting trip. You guys were just hunting.
Dude. Yeah. But it was awesome. Big porcupine, and we got this sweet buck. So we had a cooler just packed full, man. Like it was awesome. We came out of there heavy. But
well, you sent me a Snapchat the other day, and you had some skulls boiling. And are you Euro mounting that porcupine?
Yeah, I did, and it turned out awesome. So I boiled the skull and cleaned it, whitened it, the whole thing, and it's sick, dude. It looks awesome.
That's so incredible.
Yeah.
How big is the skull? Do you have it?
I don't have it down here. I'll send you guys some picture. We'll post it, but it was like it's probably, I would say it's like your whole fist size.
Sure,
is probably the size of it. Because like the one that I shot, like I have a beaver Euro, like of a huge one that I trapped or whatever, and it's like substantially bigger. Even that was probably like a 50-pound one, but like just the head size is a lot smaller on a porcupine. But I don't know if I sent you. I'll throw it in the group thing right now. But this was the picture that I had from it. I'll try to I don't know if I'm sure I can send that video real quick.
Have you found a way, like your favorite way to make porcupine now that you've kind of been doing this for a couple of years, where you're like, oh, if we get some pine, I'm doing it just like this?
Not specifically. So the way I plan on trying a lot of different ways. So the way I butchered it, I just kind of did it in quarters, and then I have some trim meat. So like I made some burgers out of it that were really good, and I'm gonna try some different things this time though. But no, I haven't like landed on like the way yet, but like we're gonna get there. I'm confident.
Like there's a way.
There's a way. But I was super stoked with like the way it panned out, because I would say like I feel like a lot of people probably have shot a porcupine, right? Like that's not that uncommon, but I don't think a lot of people like target them specific. Like if you were just like, I'm gonna go out and like get one.
Yeah.
And like that's what I did, and it's not like actually that easy, right? I mean, like killing one's pretty easy. Like if you find one, you're gonna get them, but like locating them, not easy, dude.
No, I've only ran into them on accident. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I would say like most people that have shot one, they were out hunting for something else or hiking, and they happened upon one, and then they got it.
Yeah. No.
Versus like being like, I'm legit like going after one.
Yeah. 100%.
I'd be wicked intimidated to clean it. Like I'd be.
Yeah, and I mean that's actually like not even that bad. So like, because their whole underside, their whole belly has no quills or nothing, it's just fur. So I just like flip them over on their belly, and then you just like skin them out.
Really?
and whatever. Yeah. And so like, I mean, I didn't pack the hide out. Because I would love to have a full body mount.
That'd be
porcupine.
so cool.
I would
That'd be
love that.
So cool.
This one though,
A little dangerous if we're having some beers at Ryan's house, but it would be cool.
Right.
Maybe
Have it on it. Put it up high. Yeah.
up higher, little glass
River
case
will
action.
100% get into that.
yeah, he would. But anyway, I'll have that someday. This one was, it looked like something had attacked this one previously because it was missing a bunch of quills. Like it had already probably got hit by something. So it was missing a lot of quills and like the hide wasn't that good. I've shot some before that were like super blonde, like really gorgeous looking ones. This one was kind of I'll say like a frosted tips sort of scenario.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'll text you guys. I just sent you guys the kill shot, but also the picture of it. But yeah, big dog, one of the bigger ones that I've even seen. Like I think the biggest one we got previously out there was about a 40-pounder, and I don't know that they get dramatically bigger than that because that thing was huge. Dude.
Pretty big, dude. 40 pounds is pretty freaking big.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually have here. Hold on one second, because I got the paws, dude. Dude, you gotta check this shit. Hold on, give me 1 second.
So
Give me like 10 seconds.
Good eye on your dad to spot that in a pine tree. Unreal. I'm watching the kill right here. Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's such a heavy fall.
So we was just saying it is validated such a heavy fall.
It's a really
dude,
heavy fall.
Dude. So I kept the paws because I'm gonna dry them down, dude, and I'm gonna fucking do something with them or whatever. But look at this shit, dude. This is straight fucking porky moccasin right here, dude.
He falls out of the tree like how I would expect myself to fall out of the tree.
Yes, exactly.
But they got straight up claws on them, dude. So that's like the hind foot. So it's just like a big like pad, and then these big ass claws.
Oh, wow, it's like a little bear claw.
Yeah, dude, for real. So they're badass little fucking critter,
Such a weird animal, dude. Such a weird animal.
Strange for sure.
I know, but
weird.
I'd like to say that like I feel like I'm getting them kind of dialed in. So it's like I don't know.
I'd say.
There's a pattern. You've patterned them.
Yeah, but we've been getting a lot of them out there, and like I don't know. Most of them have been during archery, but the later we've been going on some of these rifle hunts, that we've definitely been finding them still. I think they're like more active in like September. You see a lot more of them, but they're out there, dude. They're out there. But yeah, it was super fun hunt, dude. So that was kind of like the wrap up to it. And then I was kind of like, I don't know that I'm really gonna do any hunting anymore. Like I don't really need any more meat. Like we're pretty set up.
I'd say you guys are probably have a lot of meat.
Yeah. Because I think last spot I was talking about, like we slammed 2 awesome bucks in Minnesota and shot a doe, and then we just got that one. And I don't have it boiled yet. So
Are you and your family? Are you guys like slamming Venny like every night, or
almost? Yeah, or some sort of wild meat. Yeah, typically something like that.
Yeah.
But we mix in some other stuff too. But I got my buck like all skinned out and everything, because I'm still like 50-50 if I'm gonna do anything with it.
What are you talking about? You need to get a shoulder mount.
Here.
Oh my gosh. Shoulder mount that. If you don't,
dude.
I'm gonna slap you in the face if you don't.
Dude, I don't know. But it's a sweet buck. I'm very
you got
happy.
it on film. It's a freaking
I did.
It's a bruiser, dude.
That's
It's
dude, whitetails, Ryan, they look so much better shoulder mounted than Euro mounted,
and it's your biggest whitetail of your life, bar none.
I would pay to do it. Yeah.
If it because
you have the cape, I assume. You got the cape.
I have the cape in my freezer.
Yeah, then do it.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
know. No doubt. Like,
you
no doubt.
You got a Christmas bonus coming from
dude, no doubt. And also, like, shit, you only live once. Freaking shoulder mount that big, beautiful. You got it on film, dude. It's a hog.
I got it on
the
film.
biggest whitetail.
It's my second biggest one.
You got a different bigger one?
Yeah, dude.
When did you get that one?
A while back. It was big 10-pointer that I shot on some public down here.
Oh, dude, you got a shoulder mount.
Yeah, we'll see.
Shoulder mount, Ryan.
We'll see. I've been on the fence about it, but I got it all skinned out. I'm probably gonna boil it either way, because if I take it in, I'll just take it in later. But
it's a hog.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I think I sent you that. I think I sent you that snap, Sam, of we get the skull lineup that we got sitting out here waiting to get boiled up.
It was absolutely disgusting. Ryan sent me a Snapchat of just a true bone zone of like their fall conglomeration together that he's all about to like boil up, and I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Plus, we had those 2 mule deer bucks from last fall that never got cleaned that are just sitting out there. But yeah, because we picked up. Yeah, we found a couple deadheads that have been sitting out there too. That they're like clean. I just gotta like probably whiten them a little bit. We got one spike elk one sitting out there, and then a big muley.
What's a life goal of yours? Do you want to have a basement or a man cave shed? What do you want someday to hang up all your bone? You had to have thought about that.
I got some ideas, you know.
Let's hear it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely very pro, like, so there, okay. Like hanging bone is not super easy, especially if you got like, depending on like how your house is built, right? But the dream setup is to just have freaking all like a full, if it's a room or a level of the building, something all just like barnwood type, whatever. So you can just put shit anywhere you want because it's so easy to hang stuff.
What about like a pole barn, like man cave, where it's like finished on the inside, it's insulated, it's high, obviously high ceilings, so you can hang your elk, and you got wood at the backdrop, and you just got freaking antlers everywhere, dude. It'd be so cool.
I mean, yeah, I feel like my dream scenario though is that I have like just this like tits kitchen setup with just the bone around it.
Oh god,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like a vaulted ceiling, like kitchen setup, big island in there, and I just got bone, and I'm just like, we're in here making meat, boys.
This sounds so white girl too, but I've always wanted also like a chandelier full of like like sheds that I found, it's like made out of sheds that I found, and like, you know, folks probably buy those and stuff like that, but like if you were like, there's this beautiful chandelier of just all whitetail sheds, and you're like, oh yeah, I just like found all those, no big deal.
I feel like I'm like on the fence sometimes about like mounting stuff though, because it's like they do look awesome, and they're like, it's an awesome, but I love being able to just like hold it, you know, like with the Euros, like I can have laying on the table, I can like just get a grip of it and be like, oh yeah, dude,
it's true.
You know? Like that's like having like elk like just on the ground, like right here. It's like, you just want to grab that bull, you just go ahead, just grab it, it's right there, you know. Pick it up.
On a different note, Adam, how about you? Do you got like a little man cave dream shed you've ever thought about?
No, I mean,
a bass fishing cave.
Yeah, I just want to have like a fishing barn. I mean, like honestly, the garage I have now is like on the way there. I just need it deeper. Like, yeah. I just want a big shed where I can like have all baits hung up, mounts, couch, TV, like Carl Jochimson's garage.
Yes,
like,
yes.
And he's got the wood too, though. Like,
yeah, he's got like the slat and stuff. Yeah, I mean, Carl's is awesome. I've stayed there, and yeah, it's so cool. So,
you got to see it in person, so like
dude. Yeah. So here's what I'll ask, because that's like kind of like a gear room type scenario or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I know you have like. Other than that bluegill, do you have any other fish mounts, or is that it?
No, I am getting another one made though.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. But like, I don't.
Actually, I might have two getting made. I might get that largemouth that I've been debating it for like 6 years. Sobi, that largemouth.
That would be
the first episode of the one.
That would be
just because it's like the most beautifully shaped bass I've ever caught.
As
Did
long
you get
as
like good measurements on it?
It was 21 by 16 and a half, I think. I have it saved somewhere.
I would want you to pay extra. I wouldn't let you
to have the bluegill or the
bullhead out of his mouth, dude. Like that is unreal. Freaking pound and a half bullhead coming out of his gullet. Like you have to. That has to be.
Yeah. So I've wanted to do that one, and then I have one getting worked on right now that's big, so I'll need somewhere to put that. But
what species?
Crappies.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. I've never mounted any fish.
Well, mine are all replicas. I mean, obviously,
that's what I mean.
You were with me. I released them.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I mean, even replicas. I don't have it. I'd like to. I just haven't. But like, I don't know. There's only
kind of hard to get them until you got your own place that you can put them up and like admire them.
Well, and there's
That's
only
like,
certain. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've been to some people's houses that they just mount everything. Right? They got 40 deer heads on the wall, and they got freaking
no. I don't. I do
everything.
like,
and I'm like, that's sick. But like, especially with fish, I'm like, there's only certain species that, like, in my mind, I'm like, I want that.
yeah.
You know
Like
what I mean?
my thought on it is like, for example, I got and I know you have them too, Pink, but like, I got like the canvases. Like,
Yeah,
I like
dude,
buying
yeah.
canvases and getting pictures of stuff because I mean, really, the only reason you're getting a mount for something is the memory. So the only like I have that bluegill, and I'm glad I have that bluegill, just in the sense of like, for me, it's a memory, and also like it is a size of a fish that like when people see it, they're like, "What the hell?"
You'll
'Cause
never
it
get
is-
one bigger, probably.
No, I'll probably never get one bigger. Whereas what I mean, maybe, but say with like largemouth, for example, Sobi, like that one, like I'm gonna catch bigger largemouth than that.
But that one
But
was
for me
such a
it's
hog.
and it's like the first day filming the one, like
Yeah.
it was the start of like a lot of our freelance careers. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot involved in like that one fish. And also, like I still say to this day, like I've caught so thousands of bass since then. It is still the most beautifully shaped, cool, colored, everything bass I've ever caught. So like for me, that's another one. And then
I think there's something to it
Yeah.
being like unique too.
yes,
Right?
Yeah.
like
Like,
it's your own thing where you look at it and you're like, yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
that means something to me. Where I don't get the whole like, yeah, some people throw a bunch of mounts on the wall, and I don't necessarily understand.
Like you guys were super hyped on that perch, and you were like, you got to fucking mount that perch, and I'm
Well,
like,
I said get a replica of
or
it.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like,
It's gotta mean something to you. It's almost
It
like
was
Yeah, if it
sick.
doesn't mean anything to you, but like people see it on video, it is fucking enormous.
I know.
I held
know
it in
was
my
big.
hands and
It's
went,
by
"Oh
far
my
the biggest perch I've ever seen with my eyeballs. Too. So
I
I'm
think
like,
there's only one or two places you would maybe ever beat it.
probably, and maybe someday I'll be like, yep, I'm getting it. But I just like, I don't know. I like bigger mount, like a muskie or like a pike or a lake trout, like shit like that would be just like that's.
I gotta have a muskie someday. I don't know why I want one. I'm not even a muskie angler, but I want a big, beautiful muskie mount. I think it'd be sick.
Someday I'll probably do that pike.
Yeah.
That pike, I mean, that's
Yeah.
one I've kicked around for a lot of
Yeah, I
years.
think that pike you got would be cool. Would be a really good one.
Yeah, that kayak one, that's like, and it's super unique color and like the whole thing, like just that one meant a lot to me too. But it's like, yeah,
and it's not like on Lake of the Woods or anything like that. Like you got that in the metro, like that's freaking cool.
Yeah, just a beast and whatever. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like trophy room goals, I feel like are like, God, man, I gotta have something dope. But I like piling bone, man. Like I like having euros just laying around and like stacking. And
how about you, Will? What's your dream man cave? If you're like, you know, you had, if someone's like, you know, I have $500,000 and I need to donate it to your man cave aspirations tomorrow. Like we construction starts tomorrow.
Well, I'd probably just buy the barn outright.
Finally put that moose up.
Yeah, what more could I need? Yeah, I'd raise the ceilings. And
get some of those mainstream mouse traps. No more of these freaking knockoff ones. We're going to Ace today.
Yeah, I'd be spreading fucking glass shards around the foundation.
We're getting Victors.
I can't afford bottles of beer. So no, I would really like to do. Like fish wise, I don't. The only fish that I have, it's a replica, but this was during, I was fishing with Mark Shirley. I think it was a Fishers of Men series event. And it was on Coronas. And they used to do a deal, this is years back, where whoever weighed the largest fish of the whole, it was 3 tournaments, whoever weighed the largest of the 3, they would give you a free replica. And so
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And Mark and I won that tournament on Coronas, and I weighed we weighed, I think it was like a 5 3/4 smallmouth. And so then at the end of the season, or like a few months after that, they gave me a replica of like this giant smallmouth that I caught on Corona. So that's the only fish that I have.
That's a cool mount, though. Smallmouth would be a cool one.
And they did a really
smallmouth
nice
is really
job
cool.
on it. Like the guy that did it was out of, I think, St. Cloud or something, but like really a nice. I don't even have it. It's at my brother's house. So, but I would love to do more fish. And then like shoulder mounts, I don't have any. I just have like Euro mounts of everything, I guess. I do have this. This was like the biggest. Well, I'll grab it. I did display this recently here in the barn. This was and it's kind of the classic like northern Minnesota mount.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the plaque mount.
Yeah, with the felt, But this
That's
was
a
the
big
biggest
buck,
whitetail.
dude.
Yeah, this is the biggest whitetail I've ever killed, and I probably won't shoot one bigger than this. It's really heavy, and cool. Like he's got like this, like sort of indent there, and he's like bladed on this one side. And
is that in Brainerd?
No, this was up at our hunting land, which is near Bemidji, so up that way. But like I don't have any shoulder mounts. I would love to do one, but like you guys were talking about, the problem with shoulder mounts is you have to have the space to do them, and I just don't have the space. I guess maybe like a whitetail or a mule deer, but like an elk shoulder mount is so big, and I think the Euros look better.
Like if you had the right setup, I think. And the right bull, right? It's like,
right.
Sobi, have you ever been to Bonema's hunting cabin?
No, but it's probably crazy.
I need, at some point I'll have to get you guys up to Scott's to see his hunting cabin.
Because doesn't he have elk up there?
Dude, he's got everything. Like I walked into there, and like you guys know, I don't hunt, but like I kind of looked around in circles, and I was like, holy fuck.
See, but like that's crazy.
And like it is cool. And like he has, I don't even know how many acres he has on that property, but like all he does is deer hunt all fall, man. So like he's got deer on the wall from there and stuff like it. It's so cool. It's not a cabin.
I
think it's just such a cool place.
My dream setup was if you had like two walls or two wings where you had like big game on one and then fish on the other. I think that would be so cool. But then I love a good like waterfowl mount too. I think
waterfowl mounts are badass.
Yeah, I have like a really cool redhead that I was young. I was like 13, but my dad mounted it for me, and I remember when he did it. Like that mount is at my parents' house, I think, still. But like having that would be cool. You have like big game, fish, waterfowl, and then maybe like some upland on the fourth wall, like that would be kind of a cool sort of setup, I think that'd be awesome. But I don't know, it's hard to say. Like you guys said, you need to have the space, and I just don't, so maybe someday.
Well, and like you see some of these guys that have like these mega trophy rooms, they're just like dialed setups where they have like stuff like that or whatever. And like, but it's like, dude, like think about that, like 20 years from now. Right. Like how much more dead shit you're gonna have stacked. You're gonna be like, dude, I'm gonna need to build a house for this. Stuff,
or like you have to
I don't know what people
building like a shop for all the stuff, And
I'm just saying, like, you think about how many trophies you're like, I already got some pretty cool stuff, and I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just getting rolling, like
Yeah, no, that's where like the replicas for me is like I said, I get canvases and I can put them up or move them around or do whatever. Maybe, eventually it's like, whatever, I'll put this back somewhere. But like with the mounts for me, it's something where like, I know I could beat it one day, but I'm like, that's something I'm very proud of. That, like,
there's more to it than just the size.
Yeah, but the nice thing with the replica too is you could get it anytime. Like 10 years from now, you could go, man, screw it, I'm gonna get.
I still haven't got that largemouth. I caught it 6-7 years ago. I still have the dimension saved. I have the video. I have all the pictures. It'll turn out.
I would love to do. I caught a really big steelhead 2 years ago in Idaho. Like that would be cool. Or like I caught a big grayling in Alaska like 5 years ago.
Dude, I'd love a mega brown trout too.
Or like that, and like a grayling would be nice.
Great Lakes brown.
Yeah, a big grayling is like 20 inches. This thing was 19 and a half, and that's like fairly cheap, But man, a good replica is expensive,
They are, but they're worth it.
They are, in the long haul for sure.
I think any taxidermy that's good is expensive because it's like
I agree.
You're paying for like an art. It's like
It's
man,
art for sure.
It's hours and hours of labor. So like, I don't blame them for charging what they do. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Damn. Now you got me all riled, dude.
I know. Like when
be on Zillow tonight, being like vaulted ceiling. Yep.
Pull through garage and access with the boat still already attached.
Wouldn't that be nice, dude?
I've always dreamt about that. That would be in mine. I'd have a pull through garage. It's like a turnaround driveway,
and then like a second truck, so you don't even have to ever unhook it. You're like,
and then one side, like Adam said, it's got couches and TV. Other side, just game and shit, and then baits everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it's high ceilings. I got to stand on the boat and like put rods up in the ceiling. It's no big problem.
It's fine.
It's fine. Hey, turn that TV on. Hey, what are you sitting on the couch? Oh, that's no problem.
Oh
man, that's fun to dream about.
Our agenda.
Yeah, you got anything else, or are we gonna wrap this one up short?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know we all kind of talked a little bit about kind of what we're doing for Thanksgiving, but I do have a little 1v1v1 here we could burn through, a little Thanksgiving edition.
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's end it with a little 1v1.
Okay, we're going to get into this, but I have to tack on, this is just a very quick story to add on to that Montana thing, because I wanted to bring this up, but I was like, didn't really come up while we were telling that story. But I did. This was just something crazy. Never had this happen before. And then we'll play this game. I swear. This one's quick. We're driving home from Montana, and like, Will, I don't know if like which way you go when you come home, but we drove through South Dakota.
I usually go the North Dakota way.
Okay, so I like that way better because you're on like the main highway the whole time. But we didn't go that way, so we came through South Dakota on the way back, and we're in like central South Dakota, driving middle of the night. We're driving my dad's truck, and he got a new truck not that long ago, but one of the tail lights was burnt out like a week before we left or whatever. Like it was, anyway. So we're driving, and I was driving. It's the middle of the night, right? I'm just driving, and there was somebody just like riding my ass, right? And I'm like, fuck, like it's the middle of the night, and it's like that highway. I think it's like Highway 12 maybe or whatever that goes through there, but it's like it's just a 2-laner. You know what I mean? And I'm like, just like, I just want this guy to pass me. I got the cruise control set. Like, I'm not going like crazy fast or anything. I'm just like trying to survive, man. Like, I'm just like, let's just get home kind of thing. And like on my ass, won't pass. Next thing you know, like brights on, like light bar on, like the whole thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this guy will not pass me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, I like slow down a little bit. Like, fuck it. I'm just going to like slow down. And he's going to get pissed and go around. Doesn't happen. So I like speed up, just stay. I'm like, what in the f- is going on, dude? Like, I don't understand. And this is going on for a while, right? And I'm like, it's all brights on, light bar is everything's fucking as bright as it would go. And I'm like, can barely fucking see it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then eventually, like, it gets in the opposite lane, right? Yeah. And it pulls up. And I've been driving for fucking 5 miles, dude. I'm like, just go. It pulls up next to me, and it's a fucking cop with their like lights on, and I'm fucking like doing a 60-mile-an-hour police chase through fucking South Dakota, right? So this cop pulls up next to me, and it's like, and she's like waving her hand or whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, okay. Then she gets back behind, and I pull over, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, because one, I've never got pulled over where there was no like flashing lights, at all, right? It was just like somebody got behind me with all these bright lights on and shit. So I pull over, cop pulls up behind me, and I roll the window down, right? She comes walking up on the side, and it's like, it's shitty out. It was like raining. This was on like that Monday night. It was raining. I could barely see. She got the brights, and I'm like, fuck, I'm just trying to stay on the road. She comes up to the thing, and she's like pissed. She's like, did you not see me like the whole time? And I'm like, I couldn't fucking see anything. I'm like, one, you didn't have any lights fucking flashing. You just have like all your brights on and shit.
You're
shining.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I thought you were just trying to fucking pass me. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And she's like, I've been following you for like how many miles, blah, 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 all this shit. And I'm like, okay.
But she didn't have the cherries on?
No. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, normally if I got pulled over, I'd be very like polite and be like, hey man, like, whatever. I was like not having it. And this is like the middle of the night. And I was just like, no, like, I was like, you just got on my ass and you turn on all your brights. Like, you didn't even like have your lights on, the whole thing. And then so I like whatever, I give her my driver's license, the whole thing, and she's just all pissed off. She goes, she leaves, and she walks back to her car. And then like she still has all these fucking lights on, right? And then like 2 minutes later, she shuts those off, and she comes like walking back, and she's like super chill now, and she's like, well, yeah, like they changed it so like when like it gets dark, like they automatically turn on these like takedown lights or this whole thing, and then she was all like apologetic about the whole thing, like whatever, and I'm like, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she's like, all right,
You're like,
well,
I'm looking for flashing lights.
what? Like, you ever got pulled over and they just had their brights on?
Yeah.
Like what? So anyway,
What
so
about
that
the
was
red
like,
and the blue.
but I never like I literally she's followed me for a long time, dude. Like she's probably on the radio, like
or in pursuit.
You need a spike strip set up,
yeah,
and
We're going 61 miles an hour. We're eastbound.
like, and it was just like ridiculous, dude. Anyway, I was just like,
Yeah, they got quills coming out the back.
so it was just something else, man. And I was
Shut
like,
it down.
when I looked over and it's like a cop car next to me, and she's like, hey, I'm like,
What the
okay.
hell?
Did you get a ticket though?
No, she gave me it was a written warning
Oh, sure.
for having a tail light out or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
okay.
Yeah.
But it was, that was like the most ridiculous shit I've been a part of on the fucking.
Yeah. Why would you think to pull over if someone hits your that's the last thing I would do is pull over. You know?
No, exactly. And I'm like, there is not one flashing light on this vehicle.
Yeah.
None. But goddamn, do they got some good brights. I'll tell you that.
That's unreal.
Spared no expense. But anyway, I digress. All right. So this 1v1, it's all Thanksgiving themed, and I stole one from Hazer on this one, that this is all Thanksgiving trivia.
Okay. Okay.
And I think you guys will do good at this, but we'll see. So I have 12 questions total.
Oh, Jesus
So-
Christ, this would be 2 hours.
It's not. They're questions, dude. You just answer them. So some of these are like this will be like the standard 1v1v1 game where you say your name to buzz in, you answer, you get it correct. There are no hints on this one, so it's all or nothing. You either get, I mean, I guess we'll just do 1 point because 2 points doesn't matter in this one.
You don't want to do Hayes's. Remember when he was doing the half?
He did the half and quarter points.
So we'll just go through. Each one will be worth 1 point. If you get it correct, you take the full point. If you get it wrong, you just get no points.
Okay. Deal.
So there are a couple of these where you all will answer, and then whoever's closest will win.
Okay.
So, we don't have a practice round here. This is just like we're going in. We're
Is there a
straight
subject
in.
or a theme?
It's all
Thanksgiving.
based around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So you're all Thanksgiving related questions. Okay. So I'll just lead off number one with Black Friday is the biggest day of the year for what profession for professionals in which trade? Black Friday is the biggest day of the year for professionals in which trade?
Bart, plumber.
Correct.
What? Woo! No way.
Yeah. Way.
No
There's
way. That sounds made up. No way. There's that many clogged toilets.
Google it.
It's after the biggest eating day of the year. Come on, that's kind of common sense.
Jesus.
That sounds
That's
fake,
true.
though.
Bart's like, I'm getting
Hey.
ready to blow it up.
Wow.
I don't know. Bart out to
Really?
the early lead here, boys.
That seems fake.
Okay.
That's too common. That's like
Whatever, dude.
Shout out homie Hayden Anderson, who's listening to this right now. Always tells us the worst part of his job is the amount of corn he runs into.
unreal.
Unreal. Hayden can verify.
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Number 2. Which NFL team has never played on Thanksgiving? Which active
Will.
NFL Will.
Texans.
Incorrect.
Sobi. We're gonna go Jaguars.
Correct.
Oof.
Yeah.
That was good.
Jacksonville
call.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Oh, I had like 3 or 4 in
Only
my head. It was half 50-50 guess. That was
Yeah,
lucky.
you're
as
the
hell, though.
only team that's never played on Thanksgiving.
Oh shit.
Not surprised by that.
That makes me look
Okay.
like sports buff as hell.
Damn. Bart Sports. Okay.
Where's
right.
mine?
All right. Number 3. 73% of Americans surveyed agree that this is the best part of Thanksgiving.
Bart.
Bart.
Mashed potatoes.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Will.
Felt
Will.
like that was a good answer.
Drinking.
Incorrect.
Sobi.
Sobi.
We'll go. We'll be very blunt. The turkey.
Incorrect.
Bart.
Bart.
Football.
Incorrect.
Damn it. I have no idea then. I actually don't know.
Sobi.
We'll go pie.
Incorrect. Stolsky, you got a free play here.
Well, I know what it's not, and it's not the cranberry sauce. I'm not gonna say that. What? The stuffing?
No. All right, nobody's getting it. I'm just gonna give it to you because nobody got it.
Yeah.
Leftovers.
Oh, yeah. That's
We're
Outside
better
the
than
box. Yeah, that is.
We're better
Yeah.
than that. We
Yeah,
could
we
have.
are.
God, there's so many people screaming.
Yeah,
in their
they're
car
mad,
right
dude.
now.
They are
Oh, yeah.
mad.
Shit, we are
Okay.
better than that.
All right, number 4. Which state produces the most turkeys? Commercially produced.
Idaho.
Incorrect.
Bart.
Bart.
Minnesota?
Correct.
Whoa.
Correct.
Wow.
Wow.
I wouldn't have got that. Wow.
Western Minnesota has a shitload of them.
Wow.
The most.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, Bart with 2, Sobi with 1, Stolsky yet to get on the board here.
Okay.
Tighten up, son.
A lot of game left.
All right. On average, how many calories do people consume on Thanksgiving Day?
Sobi.
Sobi.
3,000?
Are we all like, are we all just going to say a
This one
number?
of those
and
where we
get-
all try to get close.
Yeah, just try to
Yeah,
get
why
close.
don't you? Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like it's going to be really hard to hit that number.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Go. Okay, everyone say one. Closest. Is it closest without going over, or do you want to just be closest?
We'll just go
Closest.
closest
All right,
like we do with
closest, go.
Hayes.
Yeah, we can go closest.
3,000.
Sobi rang in first, so you go first, so.
I do 3,000.
3K. Okay, yep.
I'm going to go 3,750.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go 2,500.
25. So the correct answer was 4,000.
Oh, I was close.
4,000.
Oh,
Party boy takes that
dude.
one.
damn,
Man,
Bart's mopping.
That's a lot of calories.
That's a good amount.
Yeah.
Stat.
Good amount, yeah.
Caloric intake for sure.
Okay. Here we go. This is like tipping the hat to Hazer on this one, and I'm pretty proud of this one. So, which state produced the only Thanksgiving rap album with songs like Turkey Bag, Grateful, and Pimpin'?
Will,
Well,
it's got to be Georgia, isn't it?
incorrect.
Sobi.
Incorrect. So
We'll go Florida.
incorrect.
Bart,
Washington.
Washington or District of Columbia, it would be.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Will, Louisiana.
Incorrect.
Sobi.
New York.
Sobi, go.
I was gonna say New York, but now
Well, that's wrong. So
Washington.
incorrect.
Will, Texas.
Bart,
Incorrect.
California.
Incorrect.
God damn it.
You didn't get it. You didn't get it.
Sobi.
Missouri.
Illinois.
No, y'all, you're wrong. The correct answer is Mississippi.
Mississippi.
No way.
Who put that song out? That
Coke
tape.
Boomer, Savvy, Tricky Hudson, and Hollywood Luck.
Well, a few of my favorites. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get that.
And I will say Turkey Bag slaps pretty hard.
Turkey bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out.
And the name of the album is Thanksgiving.
Naturally.
Unreal.
All right.
Oh shit.
All right. According to the official Butterball hotline, where are you supposed to put the meat thermometer in a turkey?
Sobi.
The
breast.
Incorrect.
Will, Up the ass.
Incorrect.
Bart,
Bart.
die.
Correct.
Damn,
I
Bart
was
is
close.
mopping.
I was close. I mean, I was close.
That's actually like, if you ever called that, that's like a thing. You can call the Butterball hotline, dude. Turkey emergencies. All right. Which prison holds the annual Un-Thanksgiving Day event? Un-Thanksgiving Day.
On Thanksgiving Day?
Un-Thanksgiving Day.
Will
Leavenworth. Incorrect.
I don't
Sobi.
even know if I could
Sobi.
name a prison.
Guantanamo Bay.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I can't even name a prison. So Gotham,
No.
No,
Incorrect.
that's made up. It doesn't exist.
not in my world.
Alcatraz. It's the same.
Correct.
No. Shout out Will getting on the board.
Will got on the board just throwing something out of his hat.
Stolsky on the board.
I'll take it. I'll take it however I can get it.
Oh man.
That was good. I couldn't think of the name of a prison. So
Well, I mean, it's not an active prison, right? Like,
Yeah.
But that's what. Okay. All right. Who said? And this is a direct quote. I love Thanksgiving turkey. It's the only time in Los Angeles you see natural breasts.
Can we have a little bit of a hint? Like what?
yeah, is it like a comedian or like?
It's a very famous. Well, it's a celebrity, lives in California.
Okay.
Very notable personality.
Actor or
They have a broad spectrum of public interface.
We'll go Sobi.
Bart.
Sobi.
I'm gonna go Kevin Hart.
Incorrect.
Bart. Adam Sandler.
Incorrect.
Good guess. That is a good guess.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Incorrect.
I don't know if we're gonna get this one.
I don't think you will.
Yeah,
That's okay. That's okay. We got a couple more here. The correct answer is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh wow. Okay.
former governor of California.
Quoted. All right. All right. So here's a closest one. So everyone's going to answer this one. How many turkeys are consumed on Thanksgiving Day
Oh God.
in America?
Oh man, dude.
Anyone can go first here. No rules on that. Total consumed.
I'm grabbing my phone and I'm not Googling it. I'm going to my calculator. I promise.
That's a lie.
I
I'm gonna lead off with 1 million.
A milli. Okay.
I'm gonna go way more than that. I'm gonna say 100 million.
100 mil. Okay.
I'm gonna go 25 mil.
25. Correct answer. 46 million turkeys.
Holy balls! And a majority of them come from Minnesota.
That's a full delete.
No.
Not a majority. The most come from.
Dude, how? Like, how is that possible?
They harvest them, dude.
That's some harvest.
So I think, did Bart get that one?
No. I had 1 million.
Oh, whoever had 25.
Sobi
did.
did.
Sobi got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Sobi got it.
All right. This is another guess. They're guessing. Everyone gets to go here. The world's heaviest turkey weighed how much? And this is a famous turkey named Tyson.
Oof.
How heavy was Tyson?
I'm not going first on this
The
one.
world's heaviest turkey ever. Guinness Book of World Records.
I'm gonna say 45 pounds.
45 pounds. Okay.
I'm gonna say 46 pounds.
46 pounds. Okay.
I'm gonna go 47
Oh,
pounds.
you screwed me unless I'm dead on.
The correct answer. This may shock you actually, based on the level at which your guesses were at. The correct answer is 86 pounds.
Oh my God. I was just gonna screw Sobi. I was gonna say 55, and I wasn't even close there.
6.
That's
Whoa.
a big boy.
That's a hammer.
So
When I was-
what's the average weight of a turkey you shoot, Pink? Like if you're
Like 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, about
It's-
20 to 22 pounds typical.
Okay.
Like
Jesus.
24 to 26 is a really big one.
Wow.
When I was in 6th grade, I wrestled 90 pounds. I just want to throw that out there. When I was embarking upon my middle school career, me and Tyson could have wrestled each other.
You could have duked it out.
Mark my words, there would have been some leftovers on that bad boy.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I don't even think
Holy
you could fit them in a
balls.
conventional oven.
Like a
I
22-pound
don't
bird is a giant bird. That's a big turkey.
86.
No.
Unreal.
No way.
All right, this is our last one here. So, I mean, this one is just a shocking fact, really. Macy's, you know, of the fabled Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's is the second largest consumer of what? Right behind NASA and the Department of Defense.
Bart.
Helium.
Helium.
Correct.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Great.
That's
That
a
is wild.
statistic.
Great freaking context clues and way to slam that, Bart. That was quick
Good
thinking.
work. Good work.
I had to have won that one.
You did.
was a landslide win.
That felt good. That was fun. That felt good.
Yeah,
That was a
of the
mopping.
completed, Bart there was 6 points, Sobi with 2, Stolsky with 1 there. But
Wow.
that was good, boys. That was some Thanksgiving knowledge dripping on there. But
Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
That was good. That was good.
very interesting.
It was
Yeah,
sort of
sure.
eye-opening. The largest turkey, 80. How many pounds?
86, you know, take
Wow.
that to your Thanksgiving festivities and let people know. You know,
And shout out Mississippi Rappers. Shout out Turkey Bag.
Yeah.
Turkey
shout
bag.
out. So yeah, listen to some Turkey Bag, you know, maybe some Grateful, and just, you know, have a good Thanksgiving.
Yep, and have a great time with your friends and family.
And
Yeah.
keep some leftovers. Because
Yep.
apparently
keep some.
73% of us believe that's the best part.
Factual statement.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of Pass the Barb. See ya.
Peace.